Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is we're locking in tonight for Monday Night Football on BNFantasy.com. Now, if your first question is, wait, what is BNFantasy.com? It's a fantasy pick'em, fantasy prop app that exists in over 30 states. So if you live in any one of these areas here, so you're looking for a blue state, and if you're colorblind, that's okay. You're looking for a state that has letters in it. So if it has letters in it, like Florida's got FL, then that of course means you can play BNFantasy.com in one of those places. So if you live here, go to BNFantasy.com. Just do it. You can pull it up on your phone or just go to your browser or whatever, type it in. Now, you see on the bottom of the screen, it does mention the promo code. If you want to get the promo, which of course you do, you want to use the promo code SweatFree. So how that promo code works is you deposit whatever you want to deposit with using the promo code SweatFree, and then your first entry that you put in is completely refunded if you lose it. So what our users are doing, which you see in the screen, the winning screenshots of our community Discord, is they are depositing at least $250 because that's the max amount of the promo allows. Then they're putting the 250 after they use the promo code anyway. They're putting the 250 on their first entry. If it loses, they get the 250 back, but if it wins, you get whatever the multiplier is on that 250. So if you're doing like a rivals head-to-head, you'll get 400 and change back. If you put the 250 on like a 3.3x or what's a 3.3x tonight? Yeah, there is. So this is so there's two different modes here. So the head-to-head, which is excuse me, what you see on screen. If you beat that second lineup, which has Lamar Jackson in the MVP slot, Chris Godwin and Zay Flowers, if you pick three players that outscore all three of them in fantasy points, you 3.3x your entry. So if you put the $250 on that and it hits, then of course you win a good chunk of change. So you can choose whatever you want to use for the 250 there. But what we're doing here is we're focusing on Monday Night Football, which luckily we have two games. And typically what we've seen with two games for Monday Night Football is the first game starts about 7:30, the second one's about 8:15 Eastern time. But this one is 8:15 and I think 9:30, something like that, 8:15 or 9 o'clock. I don't know. They're later, which is something that's always nice. I don't like games starting too early on weekdays because you guys are getting home from work. You gotta chill for a little bit. You gotta get dinner, all that good stuff. Take care of the kids if you got a family. So the later it is, I feel like the better it is. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. We are focusing here on these two games, and so if you are new to this, real quick, this is how the Rivals mode, which is what you see what's toggled up top. If we tap on Rivals, we see this. If we tap on Head-to-Head, we see this. So when you tap on Rivals, if you look at the first top left entry, it says Derrick Henry versus J.K. Dobbins. In the top left of that area, you see it says rushing yards. So we're choosing who's going to get more rushing yards, Derrick Henry or J.K. Dobbins. But below the names, you see there's a little handicap, a little bonus. So whatever J.K. Dobbins finishes with rushing yards, you're going to add 6 onto that. So it says plus 6 yards bonus. You're going to add 6 yards to his total. So essentially, if both running backs finish exactly with 100 yards rushing in the actual game, you're going to add 6 yards to J.K. Dobbins. So the total is J.K. Dobbins has 106 yards rushing, Derrick Henry has 100. So you're choosing, after you include the bonus, which one of those two options are going to win whatever the stat is. Now, we are building a tool for this that's going to live on PlayerProps.ai. But while we're building a tool for it, I'm doing everything manually for you guys right now. So here is my manual tool for BNFantasy.com. So what we've done here is we've taken every single 1v1 Rivals matchup for Monday Night Football. Every single one of them is currently available on the app as of this recording on BNFantasy.com. And we've gone through and added the AI projections, which you see in the PROJ, the Proj column. And we've already added the bonus. So if, in the first one I just showed you where J.K. Dobbins had plus 6 yards, that's already added into his 82.09 line. So all of the bonuses have already been added. You don't have to factor that in. What we do after we add the bonuses and we add the AI projections for the stat for the player, then we go through and say, okay, how much more does the person who is projected to win have over the projected line of the other player? And that's what you see in the edge column. Now the edge column is stat specific essentially. So I know we see right here where Zay Flowers has 0.41 receptions edge over Chris Godwin because it's receptions. Receptions is an extremely low number. But then when you come down here and you see, Lamar's got 57 yards because, yeah, there's more passing yards. More of those yards exist, so you're going to see bigger edges on those things. So what we're going to do right here is we're just going to go through all of them, and I'm going to highlight to you. We've highlighted the ones that are favored to win, but I'm going to highlight the ones you should actually be looking at. There are, let's see, there are only two 1v1 reception ones. So we have Flowers with a marginal lead, 0.41, and then right here, we have McConkey over Godwin, the super marginal lead again, 0.32. So what is my expert opinion to you guys playing on beinfantasy.com tonight? Do not play the receptions ones. Unless you, for whatever reason, have some insider information, there's not enough edge for you to waste your money on a receptions play. Now, let's look at the other things. So let's look at rushing yards. We have 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's 3 rushing yards. And you can kind of almost see them all on screen at the same time. Maybe not. So we have Henry versus Dobbins, Lamar versus Connor, and then Henry versus Connor right down here. So the edge between all 3 of those, we have a 12.26, a 13.85, and a 16.62. So if we're choosing one rushing yard play on beinfantasy.com for tonight, and this is the 1v1 stats, based on the AI and based on the bonuses we've already included, Connor has the biggest edge over Henry than, what is the other ones? Than Connor has over Lamar, and then Dobbins has over Henry. So if you're locking in rushing yards, Connor over Henry is the play. But again, you have to make sure, I think, what is Connor? Let me see real quick. I'm pulling up the app on my phone. His bonus, Connor over Henry's bonus, rushing yard bonus is 22. So if you're watching this and you go to pull up and you go to lock in Connor over Henry and you see his bonus is anything less than 22, you may not want to lock it in because that's what's giving him this nice number. If it's higher than 22, then yes, smash it. It's even a better of an edge. Okay, so let's go into the next stat. Let's look at reception. Sorry, we already did that. Let's look at receiving yards. We have a lot of these, I think. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 receiving yards ones. So let's go through and see which has the biggest edge. We have 17.07. 6.11. Not worth it. 18.69. This is now the highest one. Flowers is 10.96, so Bateman still has the highest. This Flowers is 10.04. Bateman still has the highest. And then this here between 2 tight ends is barely anything at 6.69. So if we're targeting 1v1 for Monday Night Football, Bateman over Godwin is the highest edge at 18.69 with, what was the other one that was close? With Flowers over Godwin at 17.07. So essentially both of these are targeting Baltimore receivers over Godwin. So Godwin is projected to go under his line, which is why you're seeing those edges. So the best rushing yards one, we said Connor over Henry. We said fade receptions. It's not worth it. There's no real edge there unless you have insider information, which please tell us if you do. So we're fading receptions. We like Connor over Henry for rushing yards. For receiving yards, we like... I like both of them. I like Bateman over Godwin, and I also like Flowers over Godwin. Yes, up here. Okay, so now let's look at the last category. Let's look at passing yards. Passing yards, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 4. Okay, passing yards, we have 4. I already know which one's standing out because I already looked at it earlier and I've already put this thing together. But let's go through it one by one. Baker over Murray. With the bonuses included, Baker leads Murray by 27.98 passing yards. You go down here to Lamar over Herbert. Lamar now has the best at 45.6 passing yards more than Herbert with the bonuses factored in. Then we go to the next one. Lamar is cooking Baker by 57.13. Lamar actually, I believe, has a higher projection than Baker, and he also gets the bonus. So whenever we see somebody have a bonus and they're already projected to out-duel their opponent, that is the gold mine that we look for using the AI tools. And we didn't do a specific video for Sunday, but because I've taught you how to, in the past few videos for beinfantasy.com, I've taught everybody that watched this how to use our tools and compare the projections against the other players. We had a ton of winning screenshots from Sunday from people simply doing what I'm doing or what I'm explaining on screen. So even though there's not an official beinfantasy.com tool on the app, and even if I don't put out a video with a cheat sheet, you still know how to use the app. You still know how to use it. So just use it if you don't have a video. But yeah, so Lamar over Baker, 57.13. And then this last one here is Herbert over Baker, which is almost nothing at a 5.13. So again, just real quick going through the 1v1s. And it's not just 1v1s tonight. They have 2v2s and they even have a 3v3, I think. And I think there's actually, now that I scroll, I see a handful more 1v1s that pop up, but we're just going to focus on these because I already put it together and I don't feel like doing this thing all over again. But yeah, so rushing yards, the best edge for tonight, Connor over Henry. Receiving yards, the two ones I'd consider is Flowers over Godwin and Bateman over Godwin. Passing yards, the one that definitely stands out is Lamar over Baker with the 57. But where's the other one at? But the Lamar over Herbert 45, that's still a pretty nice chunk. If you get anything close to 50, then it's pretty good. So that is still a nice chunk of change there. So I would also consider that one. So you have one rushing yard play makes sense, 2 receiving yards play, and 2 passing yards. Now again, I did mention they do have another game mode. So this is rivals that we've been focusing on here. This is the head-to-head. So this is more what you're used to with your traditional lineup fantasy, where you're simply building a lineup and then their fantasy score is going against someone else. But in this case, the someone else is beinfantasy.com themselves. So what we do for these is that we just play around with them in the Discord, and we all talk to each other about, okay, this is the best line I was able to put together with the player salaries, and then we just kind of compare, and we put together a lineup that hopefully beats, I would say these two, because there's actually more than this, but these two are the ones with bonuses. You always want to target the ones that have these green circles in the top left. This first one, Rocksteady, says 2.5, and then the Buccaneers and Ravens one right below that says 3.36. You always want to get those because those have a higher multiplier, and of course higher multipliers mean more money. If there's any questions that any of you guys have about beinfantasy.com, just go to the Discord channel. It's beinfantasy chat. Ask any questions you have there. Everybody there is more than happy to answer them who's been playing on this with us here for a couple weeks now. I'm happy to answer them as well. But again, if you live in one of these states, we've already shown you how easy it is to win on this app. Go to beinfantasy.com if you live in any of these. It's available. And it's not necessarily if you live in any of these either. We have somebody that lives on the border of Washington and Oregon, and they go to Oregon for work every day. And they ask me, can I play in Oregon? Yes, if you're in Oregon, you can deposit, you can play, you can cash out in Oregon. So if you're someone in the Northeast as well that works on a border between, maybe you live in a state that's not on the list, but then you work in a state that's on the list, you can play while you're in that state on the list. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But that's what we're locking in for Monday Night Football. Any questions whatsoever, let me know in the chat, and then make sure you come back to this YouTube channel at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. So right now it's roughly 2:30 p.m. Come back in 5 hours, or whenever you're watching this, come back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then we're going to be doing the live stream where all of us, the entire community, jumps into the YouTube chat, the YouTube live chat, and they drop their single favorite play, and then we add our favorite ones to a parlay where we're trying to turn $1 into $100 or more. So it's just a crazy parlay, never expected to hit because parlays of that magnitude aren't projected to hit or expected to hit. Just something we do for fun for Monday Night Football. So make sure you join us in the YouTube chat at 7:30 p.m. But good luck with everything you're locking in, guys. Shout out to my New York Liberty. I told you guys to bet on them before the season started. Granted, it was only like a plus 165 futures bet, but hey, it worked out. We won our first WNBA title, and I might probably be betting on them soon to go back-to-back. Good luck. We'll see you guys in the next show.